Hey everybody, Pepper Chronicles here. Figured I'd do a pepper grow update. I'll try to make it quick. I don't know. It's September 12th, 2013. Here we go. We'll start out here with a yellow manzano. Thing has gotten very tall. It's I'm guessing it's about 4.5 feet tall. Got pods setting on it. A lot of little ones. Hopefully the weather holds and these things get big and get to setting. You know, I'm definitely going to overwinter this plant, and hopefully I don't have to, wait for pods to ripen indoors on it. But there's the yellow manzano. I'll go over here to the turbo pube. The turbo pube. This is the second set of pods on the turbo pube. Some of the pods I'm noticing are fatter and not as slender and long as the first set, which I think is interesting. But some of them do have that shape. There's one there. But quite a few pods on here still. Really dense, heavy pods. Cannot wait for these to start to ripen. Awesome. And now we'll go over here to the slab area, and I'll show you what's going on there. We'll start in the back here, and we'll go here. This is my 7-pot Jonah. A lot of yellowing leaves. I don't know why. Probably because I don't know what nutrients to give it or the right amount. I've given it everything that I can think of. Calcium for the yellowing leaves. It hasn't helped. But quite a few pods. They've got some of that purple on there, which I believe might be its defense against sun scald, is what I've heard. I believe that's what that is. But quite a few pods. They're not huge, but they're not tiny little pods either. But that's the 7-pot Jonah. This here is my other brain strain plant. Got some pretty nice pods on it right there. I'm in a glare of the sun, so I don't know if I can really. Hopefully this is focusing properly. There's the brain strain. There's my little Scorpionero with the little tiny pods on it. They're still little, still tiny, but there's a ton of them. Here's my Nagamorich, just loaded with pods, man. Lots of them, and they are lightning hot, let me tell you. Really impressive plant, really productive. I've pulled a bunch of pods off of here already, and been giving them to people. And there's some good sized pods on there too. But wow, look at this one. I didn't even know. Look at the size of that one. That's the biggest pod I've seen this plant put out yet. Really cool. That's a big pod. All right, here's my Bahamian goat, or I said it again. It's the Bahamian goat, and quite a few pods. Some are starting to ripen. Really beautiful plant. Very stoked about this one. They taste great. About habanero heat. Really cool. Here's my Barakpur 7-pot. It's got some pods that are starting to ripen on it. There's a kind of a smallish one. Right there is a nice sized one. I can't see because of the glare, but that's a pretty good sized pod if it's in focus. But lots of pods on that one. This is my Trinidad Moruga that it's got some poddage on it. None of the pods on here are huge, I don't think, but they're decent sized. They're all right. They definitely look like Morugas. Here is my Billy Boy Red Douglas. Trying to get through here without snapping branches off. It's got some really good sized pods on it, man. Really cool looking shape. Down here is one of the smaller ones, but it's starting to ripen. It's almost there. Beautiful pods on this. Really cool, and there's a bunch of them. Here's my other Scorpionero plant, which it's been a huge, heavy producer that produces these big orange, not red Scorpioneros, and it's got I've pulled I don't know how many pods off of here and used them. They're really good. I don't know if they taste that great, but they are good for cooking with and stuff. Here's my Billy Boy Jonah. You can see the purpling on the pods there, which is kind of cool. And there's, again, the pods on my Billy Boy Jonah here
They're not huge, but there are quite a few of them on there. There's a bunch. Can't wait to try one of these yet.
Here is my 7-pot white.
It's got a bunch of really good sized pods on it. Super numerous, really awesome. Really good taste and pepper too. I'm in a lot of sun and glare, so I don't even know if my camera's picking this up. But beautiful plant.
And then this is
one of the crosses that I'm growing. I believe this is a Scorpion Butch Tea crossed with a Douglas.
Let me look at the tag to make sure
Sure, I'm not telling a lie. It is. It's a red Douglas crossed with a Butch Tea Scorpion. It's got quite a few pods. Some of them are small, some of them are not. Pretty gnarly looking pods though.
This one here is supposed to be a chocolate scorpion,
but I believe it's a cross, because look, that's got a definite boot shape to it. Definitely kind of a boot / scorpion shape, I guess. There's another one. And that's kind of got that pod shape of the red Douglas that I'm seeing. Very cool. Can't wait to see how these things come out. Here's one that's starting to ripen a little bit. Got some brown splotches on it, but it's kind of small.
This is my my other Carolina Reaper, the one that was all deformed and messed up. I believe it does have a pod in there somewhere, but I'm not going to spend 5 minutes looking for it. I'm amazed that there's a pod on there.
And holy crap, look at the leaves. Something's been in here eating the leaves off of this. I wonder what that is.
Okay, here's my this is my white boot.
It's got pods on it too, all over. Looking really good. I haven't tried one of these yet. Looks like there's a ripe one down in there.
Trying to move this along here.
This one is a brown Douglas from Silver Surfer.
And I know there's pods on here, I just don't see them at the moment.
Oh yeah, there's some hanging down in here. Oh, there's so much glare I can't even see if the camera's picking that up, but maybe you guys will be able to see it when I upload it. But very cool. Not a whole lot of pods on it though.
Okay, let's go over here. This is my Source Butch Tea.
One of the plants that I started later, it does have pods on it. They do look like they're Butch Teas. I don't think I'm going to be eating another Butch Tea for a while after that last one.
And then this plant.
Oh, get down here. This is, I believe this might be a DEFCON 7. It's supposed to be a 7-pod or a brown 7-pod, but I think it's a DEFCON 7. And it is loaded for some really good looking pods. If anybody wants to try one of these, hit me up. I'll definitely send one out to you. They're cool. And then here's my 7-pod brown. There's a beautiful looking pod right there. These things are just crazy hot and pretty awesome. Definitely, I'm so excited about this variety here. I want to definitely overwinter this one, keep it alive, because not only are they really hot, they actually taste really good when you cook with them. Oh, let's see. Jamaican Chocolate Habanero SR. It's got some ripe pods down in there. None of the pods are really huge. I pulled off a couple of big ones, but most of the pods that are left on it aren't huge, but they do have that beautiful pod shape, which I just really like. It's unlike any habanero I've seen.
Here's my
this is my chocolate boot. Pretty good size to that pod right there. This plant's actually doing really good. It's got a lot of pods on it. Haven't seen one ripen yet, but they've got that classic boot shape to them. Beautiful.
This one is my peach habalokia.
And I'm in full-on glare of the sun, so, but there's a lot of pods on that thing, man. And then when they ripen, they go from a peach color to a red. They actually finish off red, but they do kind of turn peach in color. Like, look at this one here, if I can get it in camera. See, it's kind of a peach color right there, but it's going to turn red eventually. And then this is my Jay's Ghost Scorpion. Yeah, look at that thing. Pretty awesome looking pods, man. And a smaller one starting to ripen on there. I didn't even notice that. There's another weird looking little pod starting to ripen. But it's got some big, scary looking pods hanging on it. So stoked about this, man. This is such a cool plant. Even if the pods don't taste good, I'm gonna continue to grow this. Just because of the pod shapes. They're just so cool and so random. Just wicked looking. Look at that thing. Awesome. This is my Assam boot Jalokia India Carbon that I believe is crossed. There's some pods there. It looks like it's crossed with a 7-pot. You see the folds in there? It's not crinkly or wrinkly like a typical boot would be. I haven't reviewed one of these yet. I think I will. But still, very productive plant. The pods have gotten larger, and it looks really good actually. And then here is my Infinity. Got some decent looking pods on it. This thing took forever to pod up. Look at that leaf. See how that leaf yellow? I don't know. They all get the same nutrients. So I don't know what the hell. But quite a few cool looking pods. They have a very Moruga-like texture to them. That's a really good looking pod. This is my other Assam boot. Interesting pods on that. That looks like that might be a cross too. That looks like a 7-pod shape on there. And I don't really see many that have a boot shape to them. That one kind of does, if I can get it in the camera. But I don't know. But it's cool. Here is my brain strain. It's supposed to be a yellow brain strain, but it's definitely, the pods on it turn orange. They do. My other brain strain plant, I thought they turned orange too, but they actually are more yellow. But these are all, they all start out to ripen orange and they finish off orange. They get some yellow blotches in them though, so maybe it's just, maybe it's not truly orange. I don't know. Continuing on, this is my other red brain strain plant. It's got a bunch of more pods on it. I pulled off some really good pods off of here. Most of them haven't been huge, but it's got some big old pods on there. Nice looking one right there. But cool plant. Again, I'm fighting these yellow leaves, and it could be just maybe the plant is sensing autumn is coming. I don't know. But let's jump over here to the Cornish Nagas. There they are. There's a Cornish Naga. Here's a good looking one right there. That's about, when I get a full-size pod, that's about the size they are. And they're not huge, but so far they are my favorite tasting Naga so far is this Cornish Naga. Really good flavor, in my opinion. This one, what is this one? This is another Jay's Ghost Scorpion. Look at that pod shape. And then I got a really long one on here. There it is. There's that big old long pod thing. God dang, that thing's long and slender. Really cool looking pod shapes on these. I just love these plants. And then this is my other, this is the other cross that I'm growing from Silver Surfer. This is the really cool looking pod there, huh? This is a Butch Tea crossed with a red Douglas. Sorry about the shaky camera, guys. I'm just trying to look back in here. But quite a few pods on it. Some scary looking pods. I will be trying one of these. Either this one, I think, or one of these bigger ones back here. I'll definitely be reviewing those. One of those at one point. This is my Billy Boy Douglas. Beautiful looking pod there. And I do know it is a Douglas, or at least it's chocolate covered, brown. There's one there, starting to turn. There's another one. If I can get my fat thumb out of the way. There's another one there. There's a pretty good sized pod right there. Can I get it in the camera? Yeah, pretty decent sized looking Billy Boy Douglas. Okay, this over to the Moruga Satan. One of my Moruga Satans. Small pod there that's ripe. There's another oddball looking pod, almost ripe. Not a lot of big pods on here, but decent sized one. Decent one there. Really cool strain of plant. Here's my Carolina Reaper, my other one. That actually, this next set of pods actually has got, at least they look somewhat Reaperish in shape and in texture. There's a pretty good looking one there. There's actually this, look at that, if I can get it in here. That looks like a Reaper right there. Not real huge, but that definitely looks like a Reaper to me. Then over here is a Primo, 7-pot Primo, and look, looks like a Reaper, but the Primo kind of looks like a Reaper to me. But that's a wicked looking pod. Completely different phenotype and texture than the first set of pods. The first sets that were on this and the Reaper were not bumpy like these are at all. They didn't really have the tails. They were smooth skinned. So I just think the first set of pods on these were wonky. Here's my yellow brain strain. Look at that one. It's got a tail on it there. Cool looking, huh? Just a little bit of pod variation. This one throws some massive pods. Look at the size of that thing. That's just huge. It's like a golf ball. I've already pulled some really big pods off of here and sent them out to people. They're just beautiful. Let's go over here. This is my unknown ahi plant. I've researched the crap out of this to try to figure out what this is. I believe it is a Baccatum, and it might be what's called a Peppadew, which is an ahi. It is a Baccatum, and it's possible that's what it is. I'm waiting for a good ripe one to try. Actually, there's one down there, right there. I think we'll try that. Actually, my wife wants to try that, so we'll see. I don't know. I might have to do a test run to make sure it's not too hot for her. But possibly a Peppadew pepper. Don't know. Here's my Primo Cross. That's definitely not a Primo. A lot of boot looking / 7-pot looking pods. I believe it's a 7-pot boot cross. None of the pods, from what I can tell, have no characteristic whatsoever with a Primo. So I don't know, but it is cool. It's got some smaller ones back here that are starting to ripen, but it's just, I can't even just begin to count how many pods are on this plant. But definitely it's got boot in there for sure. And then here is my orange Douglas variant plant. This is the pod that I've been waiting to ripen right here to review. It's sort of got that scorpion tail, almost a Reaper or a Primo shape to it in a way, but it's more smooth skinned. It's not as bumpy as a Reaper would be. And then there's a pretty wild looking pod right there. That thing is just, it's weird. Just a cool looking plant, man. Really cool pod variations. Definitely gonna probably be reviewing that one right there pretty soon. Here's my yellow 7-pot from John the Italian 556. Although they do definitely look orange, man. Kind of a cool plant, but the pods on it, for some reason, they just don't get really big. I got one really big pod off of it, and that's pretty much it. The rest of them have been kind of medium-sized, but there's a decent-sized one there. This is a heavy producer, though. And these make really good powder. I took a bunch of small ones off, gave them to a buddy, and he made some powder with them, and the powder is awesome with these. So it's a really cool plant, nice producer. Even though the pods don't get huge, they are numerous. Here's my other Jay's Ghost Scorpion with some pods on it hanging. Those damn yellow leaves, man. But there's a, ooh, look at that one. Didn't even notice that one. That's a gnarly looking sucker. Cool, huh? And here's my other Moruga Satan. Might get down here. And this is that pod variation that I've been excited about, with that long tail sticking out the bottom of these. That's beautiful, man. Really cool. The pods aren't huge, unfortunately, the ones that have that phenotype to them. But they are cool, and I'm going to send some of these out to some people. There's a nice looking ripe one right there, although it doesn't have the phenotype that I'm talking about. Here's another one with that crazy phenotype, but not huge. They're not real big, unfortunately. There's another one. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys this one. Look at how that one's ripening right there. Yeah, probably going to send that one out to Todd, to Team Mutter, and so he can hopefully he can grow it out or try to do something with that. It's kind of cool. Very cool. And then this is my Butch T Scorpion seeds from Team Mutter. I've already pulled off some pretty good sized pods off of this thing, and it's loaded, but they're really deep in there. A lot of pods, and I'm in some glare. I really can't see all that well, but let me just try to show you. Oh, good looking one right there. Oh crap. Yep, that's a nice looking gnarly Butch T. But that's pretty much it. There's the pepper garden for you folks, and we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.